How to make decisions? Seriously? Everybody knows how to make decisions. Do they? Well, when you were a Jehovah's Witness, it was very simple for you to make decisions because you were spelled out. Everybody knew exactly what to do, what was acceptable, what was not acceptable. There was very little gray area. As a matter of fact, Jehovah's Witnesses had only one area in their life when they were told, it's up to you. Whatever you do, it's fine with us. We don't have to tell you one way or the other. And that was blood fractions. Everything else was pretty much spelled out of what is good, what is bad. Now, of course, there are less and more consequences of certain behavior and certain decisions. So if somebody decided to smoke, there will be very severe consequences. If somebody decided to see a movie with violence, there was less consequences to that. However, the guidelines were there and everybody knew them. So it was pretty much spelled out of how to make decisions. There was actually one talk. I never gave the talk, but I heard a talk given by another elder. It was called How to Make Decisions. And this talk by Jehovah's Witnesses was very interesting because the speaker basically made this claim that if you follow this one guideline, you will always make the right decision. I was like, what? That's a pretty bold statement. That's a very strong assertion. Can you actually make all your decisions right? Well, according to him and according to the teachings of Jehovah's Witnesses, that is the guideline. The decisions are very, very simple. If your decision is aligned with Jehovah's purpose, which basically means whatever is the organization is telling you to do, if it's aligned with that, then it's a good decision. If it's not aligned with that, then it's a bad decision. That's how simple the life was. So we could make decisions about anything regarding how we dress, which car you're going to drive, what school you're going to go to, who you're going to marry, all those decisions. It seems like tough decisions for most people. However, for Jehovah's Witnesses, they were very simple. It's if the person that you're going to marry is serving Jehovah. Are they in good standing? Then it's a good partner to marry. It's true. What kind of car are you going to buy? Are you going to buy a 2-door sports car? Well, if you're a 25-year-old and you can afford it, that's what you want. No. That is a bad decision because you cannot take it to service. It's not a comfortable car to go to service. So that would be a bad decision to make, to buy that kind of a car. So everything had guidelines, obviously less and more consequences to making different decisions. But when you leave this environment, a lot of people have no idea how to guide themselves because they don't know what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad, what's moral, what's immoral, because all those answers were given to them on a silver platter. Everything was spelled out. I'm sure you realize that even when you were confused, like, you know what? Let me look it up. JW Library, there's tons of information out there, books after books after books. There gotta be at least one article that talks about it, right? Specific holiday, specific way of dealing with things, everything's spelled out. So we had those answers available to us. However, when you leave, I remember myself, I was like, well, if this is not true, then how do you make decisions? How do you determine that something is right and something is wrong? How do you determine if something is moral? This is why so many Jehovah's Witnesses, when they leave, they're starting a lifestyle that it's usually the opposite to what Jehovah's Witnesses represent. And though that kind of a lifestyle has very severe consequences, which a lot of people forget about consequences of their decisions. So how do you make decisions now? That is a very tough question. Well, I'm not going to tell you how to run your life, but I'm going to tell you how in my life, those 4 guidelines really helped me to make decisions outside of the organization. Number 1, does it feel good? Now, this is a really challenging question because when you were Jehovah's Witnesses, you were told not to trust your own heart. You were told not to rely on your own understanding. But now you got to make your own mind about a whole bunch of things. And you got to figure it out whether those things are good or bad. And you know what? The first thing is, how does it feel? How does it resonate with you? Listen to your heart. Listen to your gut. Somehow those things know. I don't know how, but they know. Somebody knocks on your door and they're trying to sell you something. And they're saying, oh, good morning, sir. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? You have a beautiful garden. You don't even know what they're selling, whether it's a religion or newspaper or whatever. You already inside feeling you have this in your gut. You don't want them at your door. You know they're butting you up for something else. They're not honest by trying to pretend that they're interested in your garden. We just simply know. Somebody calls you on the phone, a telemarketer. How long does it take you to actually make up your mind that you're not going to buy what they're going to sell? 3 seconds? 2? We just know. And listen to your gut. Somehow that gut really knows, and it does have a guide and a compass that will guide you. However, that compass can be really messed up, especially if you live in a very high controlling environment. This is why you got to ask yourself the second question. The second question is it good for you? Because just because it feels good does not always mean that it's good for you. Because you let the child go into a candy store, sugar, 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 sugar. It feels good. Mommy, I want to eat, right? But you know it's not good for them. Exercises might not feel good for you. I mean, it might not feel good, but it is good for you. So not everything that feels good will automatically be good for you. So that's the second question you got to ask yourself, because you could be tricked by your own mind. You can be programmed into believing that something is good for you, while later on you realize, no, it wasn't. And I think if you left a Jehovah's Witness religion, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe previously, when you were going to the Kingdom Hall, you felt totally comfortable. You're among your tribe, you love your brothers and sisters, and you feel totally comfortable. And all of a sudden, you see those angry apostates, maybe on your way to the convention, and they're standing there with those billboards, and you don't even want to look, or you just felt nervous. What if they start talking to you? Or, worse yet, you have somebody who's disfellowshipped in your workplace, and you see them all the time, and you're nervous. What they're gonna do, what they're gonna say. Maybe even in the Kingdom Hall, a disfellowship person sat right next to you, and it made you feel uncomfortable. That's called programming of your mind. Somebody else told you what is good, what is bad, what is good for you, what is not good for you. And your mind was programmed so deep that the nervous system in itself would send you signals of, this is scary. I never forget this moment. I walk into a Kingdom Hall, and there was one gentleman that was disfellowshipped for a long time. He was trying to be reinstated. And I come in late. And you know, at the back, there was this elder that is being an attendant. And this gentleman that was disfellowshipped, he came out of the washroom. And he said hi to me. How are you? And I'm like, I'm trying to be an elder myself. And there's an elder right behind me. And if I struck a conversation with him, I mean, that is like, what do you do? How do you? I didn't know what to do with myself. So I just said hi, and I ran into the washroom like a little kid, hiding in the washroom, pretending that I need to go to the bathroom. It's crazy. And I remember I was sweating and I was shaking, like this fellowship person was trying to talk to me on front of an elder in the Kingdom Hall, and I don't know how to deal with this. And then I'm like, okay, the meeting started. I can go in. And I just felt like, I don't know, I committed sin or something. And then after the meeting, somebody says, oh, did you hear the good news? I'm like, what's the good news? Oh, this brother was reinstated. I'm like, oh, I missed the meeting last week. He was reinstated last week, and this is why he said hi to me. So, whew, no sin committed. I feel fine now. That's how deep the programming goes, that you can't even make up your mind who you can say hi to. And your mind will be tricked by or programmed into feeling comfortable or uncomfortable based on how it was programmed. So be careful about your own mind. What is good for you? What it feels good? What is good for you? Those are first two guidelines. Third one, is it good for others? Is it good for other people? You have a gift. Everybody has a gift. There is something unique and special about you that nobody else has this gift. It's you, because nobody's like you. You are very unique, and you have something in you that nobody else can give. And that's the beauty about it, that you now can have value and impact, and you can make other people's life better because you are here. So try to figure it out what that gift is. And you have many gifts, not just one, many gifts. And try to see where the problems are, what people are facing, what kind of challenges they're facing that you can resolve. You can start even with kids. If you feel like you're inadequate for the age group that you're in because maybe you've been without education, you've been a Jehovah's Witness, all what you know is going door to door, wash windows, or mowing a lawn, or cleaning houses, whatever it is. Maybe you feel like you're just really far behind. Guess what? There's tons of people out there who feel like you are an authority to them because you are way ahead compared to where they are. Just because maybe they're younger, or they're just leaving the organization, or they just develop in a different environment, maybe more restrictive. There is something about you that you can give to this world as a gift. And the moment you have that, and the moment you share it, happiness will find you, because you'll see that you're making an impact on others. So that's the third question. Is it good for other people? Now, there is a fourth one that literally gives us more motivation than anything else. And the fourth one is, does it serve a greater purpose? See, Jehovah's Witnesses all believe in that one purpose, that it was greater than them, greater than anything else, as a matter of fact, greater than any human, any life, any conflict, any government, any country, because they believed it was worldwide, and they believed it was eternal, and they believed it was more important than anything else. So no matter what sacrifices they had to make, it was worth it, because everlasting life was worth it. Their purpose was worth it. When we think about the greater good, we're thinking about people who are not even born yet. We're thinking about people who will come after us. That's the beauty about having a special purpose, something greater than yourself. We know that what we're doing today, when it comes to, let's say, pollution or garbage, we're not going to pay the price for our lifestyle. Children of our children will pay the price of our lifestyle. And we're trying to figure it out how to change things around to put less burden on them. That is thinking about a greater good. That is spiritual thinking. When you're connecting with people who are not even here yet, they will be born hundreds of years from now, maybe thousands of years from now. We want to make sure that thousands of years from now, this planet still exists. But Jehovah's Witnesses had this great purpose, and guess what? If you attach somebody to a greater purpose than themselves, there is no task that will seem to be too overwhelming for them. When you're a Jehovah's Witness and the tasks that they're giving you, it's something you don't enjoy, it does not matter. It does not matter. I've seen people who would never clean windows in their home. They would never shovel a driveway in their home. They're saying, yeah, I will never buy a house. I don't want to mow the lawn. I don't want to shovel the snow. I don't want to clean the windows. I don't want to do any maintenance. I just want to live in the condo. I want to pay the maintenance fee. I let somebody else take care of it, because I hate doing all the housework and whatever. And then guess what? Saturday comes along and the elder comes and says, hey, we got to shovel the snow. We got to wash the windows. We got to do the maintenance of the Kingdom Hall. And people are like, sign me up. When is my turn? No problem. Wait a minute. You don't want to do it in your own home, but in the Kingdom Hall, all of a sudden, you're all excited. Nobody's paying you for it. You're volunteering. How come? It's all because it's attached to a greater purpose. And now you can do the same. You can do the same because you will see that your gift and your decisions and whatever you decide will have an impact on others. It will have an impact on your life. It will have impact on the people that you surround yourself with. And it will definitely have an impact on next generations. Even the decisions to leave Jehovah's Witnesses, it will have an impact on your life. It had an impact on your kids. If they were small enough, you changed their future. That's for sure. And you change the future of next generations. One decision, and you have no idea how many people were affected by it for generations to come. Even if you didn't have kids, or your kids were maybe old enough to make their own decision, when you woke up, they remained in, you stopped it. You stopped going, you stopped bringing people in. That decision also had an impact on other people. In summary, Does it feel good? Think about it. Trust yourself, trust your heart, trust your gut. Those things will guide you. They'll tell you whether it feels good, whether it resonates with you or it doesn't. Second, is it good for you? You'll know whether it's good for you or not. Think about the consequences. Think about it long term. Is it good is it good for you? Is it good for others? And does it serve the greater purpose? 4 guidelines that now can lead you and make a better decisions in your life. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.